Hey, Blake. How's it going?
Oh, hello, Courtney. So good to see and hear you yet again.
Yes,
It's been a minute.
it has been a minute. First of all, I want to get to the important thing. Um, you
Okay.
have texted me more in the last 6 weeks than the previous 2 years.
Yeah.
So let
Yeah.
let the audience know. Exciting times. We're like
It's,
real friends.
I know it's been a challenge for me, but that was a habit goal was to text Courtney once per quarter, which would triple my previous output of friendship
Yes.
investment. So that
Yeah.
was that was a habit goal for me, trying to connect a little bit more. So
Yeah.
I'm
Which I
glad to hear it.
appreciate.
It sounds like you're
Yeah.
feeling that, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm a little sad for everybody listening because I've heard from you more, but they've actually heard from you a little less lately. And I don't know if we should get into
That
that
that probably
now.
explains. I heard there was a huge surge in your subscriber base, so that probably explains it.
Yeah, no, I that's not true. So should we talk about this now or should we talk about it at the end of the episode? Where do you
Let's
want
save it. Let's
to
save it
Okay.
because there's people listening who don't even know who I am. They're like, "Who's this Blake guy? Give me my." Don't tell me that Verbs isn't here today, and they're already getting angry. So if we don't get to the good content that we have planned for
That's
this
true.
episode, we are going to lose them. All
All
right.
right. Well, everybody, hang with us because we're going to be talking a little more about what Blake has been up to. And it's pretty exciting for everybody listening, me included, and Verbs, who is not with us today, but will be back with us next week. Okay, so Blake, I am really excited to have you because today we're going to be talking about how to help you boost your chances of goal success. And we're obviously right here, smack dab in the middle of the year, which we love to call the messy middle. And so today we're going to give some tips on how to improve the likelihood that you actually end the year and look back and think, wow, I got a lot done. I'm really proud of myself.
I'm excited. It's going to be simple. It's going to be practical, and you can get started today.
Welcome to another episode of Focus on This, the most productive podcast on the internet. So you can banish distractions, get the right stuff done, and finally start loving Mondays. I'm Courtney Baker here with Blake Stratton. Happy Monday, Blake.
Happy Monday unto you, Courtney.
Is it a bazillion degrees where you are?
I've been watching basketball, NBA
Mm-hmm.
playoffs, and this weather reminds me of, Draymond Green, he's running all over the place. When Draymond Green takes off his sock, I think that feels like what I step into when I leave my front door. It is so
Mm-hmm.
humid and soggy and hot.
Yeah.
So there's a mental picture to ruin everyone's Monday. You're welcome. That's the weather in Nashville, Tennessee. There's your update.
There you
Now,
go.
that
There
was
you
actually
go.
weather and sports update in one update. So for more
Very
news,
nice.
let's kick it over to Courtney. What do you have for us?
Well, and I think when you get to that level of sock stinky weather, you know that it is almost the third quarter, which means it's time to really get going tackling your next set of goals for the quarter. And so this is really the perfect moment indoors to sit down and think about what you want to achieve before October. Does that feel weird? For me, that feels weird. It's almost like October feels like light years away, like literally light years away, but it's really like right around the corner. So
I just now this week stopped writing 2021 on when I have to date
yes,
things. Like just now it happened.
yes, I know. And here we are. Like almost like Christmas decorations are going to be up in 3 months. No, 2 months. I mean, we are here, people. So as you're kind of like, it's hot outside, I think it's easy in the summer to just kind of get a little comfy. It's like, let's get inside where it's cool or just like lay out. But actually, it's really a great point right here in the middle to really stop and think about what you want to achieve, what you want to make possible in the next quarter. And today, again, we've got some really simple ways to improve your likelihood of succeeding at those goals. And here's the kicker: these are like things you can do in 5 or less minutes, like no time, quick action things to help you make progress.
So we're halfway through the year. You might be thinking, I am way far off of where I wanted to be, or maybe you're thinking there's so much left that I want to accomplish this year. The first segment we have for you, this first tip, is going to fight that feeling of the bigness of what has to be done by just taking a small action that actually has a really huge psychological effect on your ability to accomplish what you want to accomplish. You've heard us say it before, but it's worth hearing again. Here it is, Courtney. Write down your goals. Write down your goals. It sounds so simple. It sounds too easy to have a positive effect, but it is very powerful. And most people, because they discount it, don't even do it. Right? But we're not, don't take our word for it, right? Courtney,
That's right.
the back at the lab at Full Focus, people have been with their test tubes and their chemistry sets, they've been testing this, right? You have some research?
Yeah, that's right. Dr. Gail Matthews, a psychology professor at Dominican University in California, found that you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals just by writing them down. And obviously, if you are someone that has used the Full Focus Planner for a while, you're like, obviously, guys, the whole thing, you got to write them down. So I have two caveats for you. Maybe you've never used the planner, or maybe you've never used the goal section of the planner. This is, for you. But it's also for those of us that have been using the planner for a long time and you're about to get ready for this quarterly switchover, to remind you that time that you take to move your goals from this quarter to the next quarter is a very powerful moment. And so, whichever spectrum, wherever you land, this is a really important key to come back to time and time again.
I think it's so powerful for two reasons. It creates clarity and it creates self accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Clarity and self accountability. I talk to people regularly who say, yeah, I got a goal, and they sort of riff on something that's in their head. And even in the conversation, it becomes obvious to me that they don't have total clarity on what they're truly trying to accomplish. There's
Yeah.
that quote, thoughts disentangle themselves, passing over the lips and through pencil tips. We've all
Mm-hmm.
experienced it. By simply writing the goal down, you realize, wait, if I had to write down this goal and give it to a friend, would they clearly know exactly what I'm trying to
Right.
accomplish, when I'm trying to accomplish it, so on and so forth? Maybe not, but writing it down will help you get the clarity you need. While at the same time, and this is what happens to me is maybe I'll rewrite the goal down, like you just referenced, transferring it from one planner to the
Mm-hmm.
next. There is that, it's slow when you physically write it. And in that space, my brain is working in the background going, oh, yeah, like I probably should do this or do that. Do you have that
Mm-hmm.
experience?
I do. I do think it brings a lot of clarity, but so many times for me, it's the smarter framework clarity that comes with writing
Mm.
it. I don't know if I'm just not smart enough, but trying to do that all in my head and make sure I've checked all the boxes. Again, if you're new to listening to the podcast or new to using the Full Focus Planner, you may not know the smarter framework, but really writing goals well is kind of the next step to just writing it down. And so for me, it's like the process of writing it down actually helps me make sure that I've got a well crafted, clear goal. Like if I'm going to be accountable to it, I want to make sure that it's well crafted.
Absolutely. You're getting that extra clarity from the smarter framework, and it's super
Hmm.
helpful. Okay, let's shift to this next section. This next tip is somehow even simpler than the first. If you thought we were going to break it down for you and make it easy, guess what? It just gets better. Here it is. Post your goals somewhere visible. Put a physical piece of paper, post-it note, note card, framed visual portrait, something. Post it somewhere visible. Okay, so this could be on your bathroom mirror, by your desk. You could make it the lock screen on your phone. You name it. Put it where you can see it.
You know, one reason I think this is really helpful right now is if you're like me, and Blake, you as well. Like recently, we've just moved, you know, maybe back to the office for some people, or if you're like the real estate market in Nashville, everybody's just changing houses. It's like a big. What's that game where like all the pieces like go up and then you have to shake up? Is it Boggle? No, is that Boggle? Maybe. What's
Boggle
the
is
ones
a
with the
word
shapes?
game.
What's the shape one? And like they all come up and
Shape
okay.
one, and they all come up.
Yeah.
Candyland.
Yes. It's like Candyland. Anyways, in Nashville,
like
everybody
Candyland out
is
there.
moving and it's like Candyland. It's crazy. Like you're like, do I want to be in the Gumdrop Village or the Snowflake Palace? I don't know. All I care about is which one has a home office.
The game is called Perfection.
Perfection. Okay, thank you, Nick.
I've never heard of this.
Perfection.
You have.
You have. It's an oldie, and it's been around.
It pops up.
It's like red with little yellow pieces.
Well, it would not be an episode of Focus on This unless really Courtney and I got into our bag on elder millennial games and TV
I was going to
shows.
say it's the elder millennial segment, the like unspoken segment that always occurs.
Yes.
Listen, yes, that's true. We can't help it. It is there. But if you have transitioned, like for example, with me, I had a place in my home office, like I had a window right beside my desk that always wrote my goals. And well, now that our office is open, you know, I've been kind of transitioning more and being here more. And so I don't have a place where my goals are visible. So for those of you that are listening, this is a really helpful reminder. Maybe something's changed. Maybe they've been in the same place so long that they're there, but you don't actually see them anymore. You know how that happens? You're like, oh, yeah, there's my goals. I've just been ignoring them because it's been in the same place so long. We also have, maybe you've got a bulletin board or somewhere you want to post your goals. We have a free download for you so you can list all your 2022 goals. It's a nice little printout for you. You can get that at fullfocus.co/downloads. All right, guys, we have a brand new segment for you, maybe coming up into the future. It is called Basketball with Blake. And so, Blake, what do you have for us this week?
Do. Swish.
Actually,
that was me
Blake,
making basketball sounds. Squeaker sounds.
Yeah. I would love to hear from you on what's happening with transfers and acquisitions. Is that what you would say in basketball? Trades and
transfers and acquisitions. What?
No. It was just some words that came out of my mouth.
I was like, oh man, is she gonna ask me? At first I was like, is she asking me a real question? If the answer is yes, I just realized I'm too slow to actually be able to answer it well.
Trades. So what's happening in trades, and is there another word for trades? All jokes aside, Blake, you have not been on an episode of Focus on This for a few weeks here. And I think now is the time to kind of let people in on some exciting news. So you want to break the news to everybody?
Sure. So for those that have recently started listening to the podcast, hi, my name is Blake, and I was on here for a bit, 2.5 years. And it was amazing. And the big change, I'll frame up this way, which is we always talk about productivity as not about, just getting stuff done, but getting the right things done. And maybe a level up from that is when you're achieving goals, you should be learning about yourself and you should be becoming who you want to become. And for me, as well as for you listening, that journey is deeply fulfilling because you get to learn about yourself, what
Mm.
you like, what your strengths are, where you add the most value. And then slowly, or maybe quickly, depending on your life situation, you can begin to arrange things in your life to play more into your long term vision and play more to your strengths. And it's really fun and really fulfilling. And that's the frame, I guess, that I want to share the changes that have been happening for me. So, this a long time ago, way back when, the year was 2019, and we were discussing, me and the Full Focus team, this amazing idea and this vision of wouldn't it be amazing if someday people were equipped to teach and train the productivity system that's embodied here in this thing we call the Full Focus Planner to teams, to businesses, to uh, coach up individuals. And that was a dream, and that was something that was in my heart, as well as leadership of Full Focus. And if you remember, you heard us talk about late last year, we launched a Full Focus Planner certification program. It was really awesome. Some of you listening are certified pros. If you haven't heard of that, you should definitely check it out. fullfocus.co/certified if you want to learn all the details about it. But I had this idea that I took to Courtney, I don't know, a couple months ago or so.
Yeah.
And it essentially went something like this. Hey, here's a what if. What if, I've noticed I enjoy talking about this stuff. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy training. I've gotten to do a lot of training in the past for Full Focus. A lot of businesses who wanted to train their teams in these principles and the systems. I was privileged enough to get to do that training, and I realized, what would be amazing is if I could shift my work life, so to speak, to be catered more in that direction, where I'm able to do training and coaching primarily. And the strategy that we developed where that made the most sense would be for me to actually transition out of my role. Some of you know I was primarily a part of our sales team at Full Focus, where I would sell our small business coaching primarily, as well as some other things. But what if I transitioned out of that role and became a Full Focus certified pro myself? And that turned into a really productive, for no pun intended, a productive conversation. And it made the most sense for me to resign as an employee of Full Focus. So I'm not officially on the team anymore, but I am fully in this Full Focus certified pro lane right now. And so I'm currently coaching some teams and some individuals. I actually have a group where I really focus on people who are employed and are using the Full Focus Planner, people that don't, feel like they don't have the agency that they want and maybe feel stuck and limited. Well, the good news is you're not limited, and you can make some serious gains and create some success and freedom. And so, anyway, I've been doing that, getting that up and running, and it's been really fulfilling. So that's the big news. How'd I do, Courtney?
Yeah.
Did that make sense?
Yes, it did. And I will say right out of the gate, because I think people are probably wondering, like, does that mean no more Blake on the Focus on This podcast? And no, I think occasionally you're going to join us from time to time. It won't be every week, but it will be occasionally that you'll be jumping in here. So I think that'll be exciting for everybody listening. And also, I just want to say from my side, when you kind of shared that idea, I think the very first thing I said was like, that makes so much sense. Like, it has always been like so obvious, like your passion for the planner, and because of your own experience with it and the freedom that you got from it, being able to share that with other people just made so much sense. And so it was obviously sad for me, but as I said at the beginning of the episode, we're like, besties now. Just text messages. I mean, come on, people. You know,
I'm texting you and you're showing emotions left and right. It's
I
just it's
know,
bizarre.
guys. Okay, can I share this story? I don't know if this should make the episode or not, but so when I found out that, Blake maybe wouldn't be here for every episode of the podcast, kind of figuring out the transition, guys, I cried. I was so sad. And I mean, really, truly, and I've said this to Verbs and Nick and Blake, like, I just feel like the pandemic, I saw y'all as much as I saw anyone during that time. And so
Mm-hmm.
it just, you just didn't see that many people did. And so it was like kind of our little group, getting through the pandemic, trying to figure out like, how do you do this? And so I cried. I was so upset. And I told Blake, I called him and was like, hey, I just, I was really sad. I was like, I cried. And Blake was like, oh, really? Huh. Yeah, I haven't even really thought about it. And I died. I was like,
So
okay.
callous.
You have to, the one that the scuba guy has rubbed off on me, and the emotions are coming, and maybe I've rubbed up a little bit on you, Blake. You're just like,
I'm just
head
too.
down.
I was too busy achieving. I didn't even notice what had happened.
Yeah.
No, there was emotions, and there was deep emotions on both sides, and I would say I haven't gotten to share this. I know that we just talked about, the point was, hey, what am I doing now? But I actually just, if I can, before Nick plays us out with some music, I would just say, because I'm not an official host of the podcast anymore, I'm going to be now more of a guest, maybe even, you may even say a special guest. I don't know if you would go that far, but a semi level of speciality is maybe but I'll be a guest occasionally. But because of this, I at least wanted to say to you listening, there's several of you who have sent me messages on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, asking, hey, where are you at? And or letting me know that you appreciated me. I want to let you and everyone listening know, thank you so much for allowing me to encourage you to practice what for me has felt like a skill set that I have wanted to learn and develop, to help me really practice with you, to communicate these principles that I think are really, really powerful, and to be a partner with you on your own success journey. That is deeply fulfilling. And I'll say that I know Courtney feels the exact same way, that it is so meaningful to know that the goals that are really changing the trajectory of your life and the people that you love and care about and work with, the idea that we have played a part, if only to encourage or inspire or instruct you, is really humbling and really exciting. And I just want to say thank you for every Monday morning that you allowed me to be coming through your AirPods or your car speakers or whatever. It's been very fun, and I don't take it for granted 1 second. And hopefully, if you would like to, I've been trying. If you're in the Full Focus Planner group, I've been sent so many friend requests just because I'm out of the loop now, and I'm trying to connect with as many people as I can from our community. So if you would like to connect, I'm on all those normal social media things that you're probably on. But I just wanted to say thank you, I guess, before we move too much into the, all the tactical things that are happening.
Again, but you're going to be around. So let's not like make it like you're never going to be here. So I have to say this, I'll be the marketer for you and all the certified pros. If you are interested, like Blake, there is a whole host of Full Focus Planner certified pros that if you want to go deeper with your planner, or you're having trouble with goals, or like when I was talking about smarter goals earlier in the episode, you're like, I don't even know what she's talking about. How do I do that? Working with a Full Focus Planner certified pro is a great way to kickstart some of that stuff, get in those good practices, or maybe just needing the accountability. For me, sometimes just having to come and tell somebody I did it or I didn't do it is all I need. I'm not going to tell somebody I didn't do it. I'm going to tell them I did it. I should clarify, not lying. I'm not going to lie. Okay. I'm going to get it done. So if you're interested in working with a Full Focus Planner Certified Pro, you can look at the directory at fullfocus.co/directory, but also inside of our Full Focus Facebook community, all of our Full Focus Planner Certified Pros are group experts. And so if you see them in the community, see somebody that you're like, oh, I really like them, I like what they're talking about, I like the advice they're giving, reach out to them and talk to them about potentially working with them as your Full Focus Planner Certified Pro.
All right, y'all. So back to your goals. Remember, we're halfway through the year. Don't get overwhelmed by what hasn't got done or what is yet to get done, but just focus on these 2 actions. Action the first, write down your goals. Action the second, post them somewhere you will see them. Just make it the next 3 for the next quarter. Write down 3 goals and post that somewhere where you will see it. And be friends with me on the internet. Guys, you won't get to hear me. Let's be friends on the internet. That's that's the bonus tip.
Be friends with Blake on the internet, but don't expect text messages, guys, okay?
No, don't expect text messages. You can expect a DM, but be friends with me on the
No
internet.
text messages. Thanks for joining us on Focus on This.
This is, I mean, now that I'm not here as much, it's even more productive. No, this is the most productive podcast on the whole internet. So share it with your friends and don't forget to join us in the Full Focus Planner community on Facebook.
That's right. And Blake will answer all your questions.
Yeah.
And we'll be back here next Monday with another great episode. Until then, stay focused.
Stay focused.
I'm Courtney Baker here with Blake Stratton. How are you, Blake?
Oh, I'm swell.
No. You don't say "How are you" on this show.
Really?
You say.
Oh, I say Happy Monday, Blake?
Yes.
Okay. Happy Monday, Blake.
Happy Monday.
Bad. That sounded bad. That sounded bad. I had to do it again. It sounded so fake. I'm Courtney here with Blake Stratton. Hey, Blake. No, I can't do that. It's wrong freaking words. I'm Courtney here with Blake.